start in a few seconds. Family, we'll start in a few seconds. Yeah, it's gonna try to embarrass me in front of family and friends. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me adjust this camera real quick so we can get back into business. You know we're gonna change it in a minute anyway, but we like to get started right here. Family, so glad to be back with you. Missed the Tuesday nights. I know we did a book club on Thursday. But if you don't catch us on Thursday, you haven't seen me in a couple of weeks. So I haven't been able to interact with the family for a minute, but I'm glad to be with you tonight. I just been pretty much I've been working. So I've been out of town a lot. And you know, we've tried to do these shows when I'm on the road, and I'm going to have to get a whole road set up for things like that, because trying to do it on my phone, and it just winds up being a little wonky. So we haven't been able to. But I've been in Atlanta and Eastern North Carolina a couple of times, and now I'm back home, and I will be home for the whole month of November, and I'm thankful for that because I need the break, right? And but December I'll be gone again, but only one time. So that first week in December I'll be out of town. But we might be able to have book club that week too. So hope you miss me as much as I missed you. Let me get my book so I can make sure we discussed everything. We should have a good show tonight. I'm looking forward to it because one of the things we're going to do is going to have us a live energy reading. We haven't done that in so long. It's almost as if we don't do it anymore. But the show is predicated on the live energy readings and things of that nature. So if you've been a part of the family for a minute, you bear witness to several of the live energy readings. But if not, you get to see what the show is really about. You know what I mean? So I look forward to that. It's someone that we've done an energy reading on before, but kind of this time we're going to be able to compare and assess some of the work that they may have done since our first energy reading. And I can attest that I can tell that they've done some work on themselves in ways that feel authentic to them. So, outside of that, you know the routine. We start with a little visualization, and it took me a minute because all I remember is we discussed air. Oh, we did do air on book club. So I feel like book club is usually, it establishes what chakra we going, or what energy point we going to focus on. Yeah. Oh man. What did I do? Heart. I will continue with heart. I thought we were on throat, but we're gonna do heart again. I feel like it's a good time. I know over the weekend I did a little hard work on myself, so we're gonna continue with that. Today I feel like we're gonna use a little bit of the little bowl. So we're gonna use the little sound bowl to establish a energy and relaxing and calmness. So just sit back and allow the vibrations to do what they do. On book club, we also tried a new breathing exercise that is called the sun moon centering. And in this breathing exercise, the good thing is we don't have to keep track of any count. The only thing we have to do is just breathe in and out. But it starts off with you standing in a comfortable position or sitting in a comfortable position, and you close your eyes and you visualize a circle disc above your head, whether it be the sun or the moon. With your eyes closed, you can see that celestial body above your head. And in this process, with every breath, we're going to bring it down through our body. And as it touch an energy point or a chakra point, we're going to release stress, tension, or whatever emotion may be clouding that spot. Anything that pops in your mind, or if you don't have anything that's in your mind, then you just enjoy it. It's supposed to help get rid of impurities and impure thoughts and clean your mental mind for whatever you're about to do next. So with your eyes closed, I want you to visualize the sun or the moon above your head. And every time I say breathe in, you will breathe that sun or moon down your body, and it will stop at the entry point, at the chakra point. So I will say, breathe in, and as you breathe in, you move it down to your third eye, and you breathe out, and you breathe out all the negative emotions attached to that space. So let's start now. And the sun is on your crown, and you visualizing it, and it's clearing out any thoughts that may be hampering you, thoughts of work, worries, concerns, and you feel it working. And remember, the most powerful thing that you can give these visualizations is the true belief, and to exercise these skill sets that will help balance your emotions. So we're going to breathe in, and it's going to go down to our third eye. So breathe in, draw it down to your third eye, and release. Breathe in, draw it down to your throat, and release. Breathe in, draw it down to your heart, and release. Breathe in, draw it down to your solar plexus, and release. Breathe in, draw it down to your sacral, and release. Breathe in and draw it down to your root, and release. Now this time we're going to do it in reverse. And with every breath in, we will bring our sun, our moon up in our body. So we're letting it rest right there in your feet and in your root chakra, and it's clearing the energy and taking away some of the tiredness and the running and anything that's weighty on your root to help you get grounded. And then you breathe in and bring it up to your sacral and release. Breathe in, bring it up to your solar plexus and release. Breathe in, bring it up to your heart and release. Breathe in, bring it up to your throat and release. Breathe in, bring it up to your third eye and release. Breathe in, bring it back to your crown. And this time, while it's in your crown, I want you to repeat after me. I love myself and others. I deserve to be loved. I forgive others easily. My heart is fully open, loving, and pure. I follow the voice of my heart. I love myself and others. I deserve to be loved. I forgive myself and others easily. My heart is fully open, loving, and pure. I follow the voice of my heart. So breathe a second and let that rest. And we're going to start switching on. in a minute. I think our guest will probably be joining us about 7:30, so we got a little more time to talk a little bit. Terrence, brother, glad you could stop by for a second. We missed you last night in the group. It wound up being a power. We've been having some powerful conversations the last few nights, the last few Mondays. But our brother Mitchell is in Charlotte now. So, you know what I mean? We get to kick it to him. And of the wildest things, bro, he wound up moving to my neighborhood. So we are neighbors. We literally live right around the corner from each other. So you been over here. So next time you come over here, you kick it or something, we can go holler at our brother Mitchell. So glad to have him in Charlotte. Glad to see you as always. We did tonight's talk. Okay. So I did want to we hadn't done this activity in a minute before we get started. I'm going to switch cameras anyway. So we haven't done this activity in a minute. And I think I was going to pause and wait till next week to do it, but I think tonight's a good time to do it. So, on our board, we got our soul family words. And I definitely think it's another time, a perfect time for us to add another word, affirmation word to the soul family. So as of right now, we soul family and we got worthy and loved. So if you have not been a part of this process before, it's a very simple process. It's kind of like the visualization that we've done just a minute ago. But what you have to do, or what we will do together, you do not have to say the same word as the soul family. This is the soul family word. But in this, I want you to take time to do this exercise and create affirmation words for your own life. You know what I mean? So that is the purpose of this. We do this exercise so you know how to do it with the family. And then you also know how to do it for self. So generally what you will do, or what we will do, and this time I feel like I've been doing heart work. We on the heart chakra. We're going to think of another heart word, because worthy and love can definitely be heart words. So in your thoughts, since you should be a little bit relaxed from the visualization, what I forgot to tell you is the element for heart is air. So that's one of the reasons why we just focused on our breathing, so we can see how we can manipulate the air and how we can control the air and how we can use the air as a tool to help navigate our emotions and feelings. Breathing is an excellent tool to help you navigate frustration or anxious type situations. But in this, I did some heart work. We on our heart chakra. So I want you to imagine what your perfect relationship is. It can be with whoever or whatever you feel is a good symbol, or would be very symbolic on how you feel like your perfect relationship would make you feel. So take a time and start thinking about what this entails, what it looks like. Start visualizing these things in your mind. and how it makes you feel. Think about the smells, the sounds, the thoughts that come along with your perfect love. Think about how it makes you feel. And you can have a pen and you can write these words down as I go through this exercise with you. I will, oh my God, where my pen at? Write my own words down. We're going to have to use the tiny sharp. Don't mind that. I couldn't find my pen, so we got to use the tiny sharpie today, family. So when I think about my perfect relationship, perfect love, it is a one that creates certain emotions inside of me. And one thing that I feel like my perfect relationship, a perfect love, whatever that may be, will make me feel is a sense of satisfaction. Satisfaction. I think I would have a feeling and sense of appreciation. I think there will be a sense of interdependence. We really need to value interdependence. Value. We really need to value each other and the role that each other plays to help stabilize this thing we call life and to support each other. So we definitely want value in that relationship. Definitely would like, as one of the things we talked about, one of the things that we're making sure we look for as we go forward is a safe space. So I would like it to create a certain sense of safety within that. And ironically, and it's partly because of the hard work that I've been doing over the weekend, is I definitely would like my perfect relationship to give me a sense of accomplishment. So accomplishment would be the word. And if you have some words that you can think of, don't hesitate to put them in the chat so we can use these words, because if you knew or you haven't experienced this, we do this as a family. The healing process is a communal event. You need support of others. As a matter of fact, I took a training today on compassion fatigue. And one of the main things that I got out of that is they had a lot of drawings with feelings and hands on the bottom holding up these feelings. And initially, you'll probably think that these are it's an individual, but it's not an individual. It is the people, your support systems that help you bear that cross, right? So, I think that's a great word. I think it needs to be supportive. And we all are human. And you have to anticipate with that you're going to make some sort of mistakes. So when I make these mistakes, I definitely need a space of forgiveness. I seen someone say it today, and I 100% agree with that. They said a benefit of the doubt before our needs, we will call that grace. And I definitely would need a space of grace. So now you should have a list of several words. Some of them may be like mine. You may have your own or whatever. So once you get to this part, this is an exercise in imagination. Because so much of our dreams and our direction is built on how much freedom we give our imagination. So your imagination, if you trusted the thoughts that popped in your mind, I want you to look at your list and just read down the list and pick the one word that resonates most with your spirit. Our new word will be safety. Because in our new self, our rebirth self, our grown self, we are going to be loved because we are worthy of love, and we will feel safe in that love, right? So that is the word safety. We will add it to the board. Okay, we got our guest here. Boop, 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 boop. So I was gonna do a little jibber jab for a second, but I'll save my jibber jab for later, and I'm gonna let the guest in. And we'll get started in a second. Let me get this together. Oh, man. So it might be something going crazy. Let me see. A guest has joined. So give me a second, family. Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. So then you can, because I got you on stream now. So don't dig in your nose or anything weird, okay? Because the people will see you. They don't see you yet, but they're about to see you. They hear me talking to you.
Okay.
So yeah, don't be weird, because
I
this
am
is
weird.
forever. You get to being comfortable because you're in your house, and they're gonna kill you. But again, I ain't shared the chat with you, so nobody can see you. We practiced this yesterday so I could make sure my sound and everything was working, but okay, I don't know what's going on. Hold on.
That's human broke stuff.
All right. So, you ready? I got to put some headphones on so I can hear you, because I can't hear you now. So, family, if you've never been a part of this before, you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
You hear that commercial?
Yeah, I hear that commercial. You got a whole commercial going in together.
Like, wait a minute. What's going on? So I can hear you, because I can't hear you. So, family. All right. So, you ready? I got to put some headphones on so I can hear you, because I can't hear you now. What's going on? So, family, if you've never been a part of this, hold on, I got too much going on right now, because I'm trying to listen to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You hear that commercial?
I heard yours.
Okay, yeah. So it's definitely delayed. Where am I hearing this? Because I can't hear you now. I must got something live. I do. If you've never been a part of this, hold on, I got too much going on right now. It's YouTube, because I'm trying to listen. Okay. Hey, Toddy. I'm glad you can join us. You made it home. Yeah. So we about to do our thing. I don't hear that echo now. So Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you. We on point now. Listen, I finally got the sounds to work tremendously. You came in on time. We just did some we did our new word. So our new word is
Safety.
safe. Oh, I guess you watched it. So hey, you such a good friend.
I try.
So, okay, you know the routine. So generally we pick a pendulum.
Okay.
We got our yellow.
Hmm.
We got our black.
Okay.
Hold on, let me make sure that music ain't playing, is it? Because
I don't hear any music.
I'm going to stop it because I don't trust it. Oh, shit, it
There you
was.
go
Stop
now.
playing when I was, Jesus Christ. See, here I go. I done messed it up. Okay, stop. Thank you. That's what I get for trying to do too much. But, all right, so we got black. We
Okay.
got purple. And then we have royal blue.
I'm gonna go with black.
Black? Okay. That's interesting.
Been in the black phase lately.
That's how you feel today. Hold on, let me get my cheat sheet
Mm-hmm.
too. Oh, God, excuse me. Yay. So we can have a little discussion because a lot of people haven't been through this experience and they don't know quite what it's like. But you have been through this experience before, and I'm curious, how would you describe the energy reading for yourself? How do you think that experience went for you?
For me, I think it went good. It was eye opening. Like it was some things I knew about myself, and then to know that I'm carrying it energy, yeah, it was helpful, especially on this journey.
What is this journey?
Like growing and for me being my authentic self. So
No doubt. So, is there one thing from that first reading that kind of stuck to you that you felt like this is the area I want to address now?
um yeah. So it would be one of the things with reading that came up with pockets of anger, but it like sadness, pain, depression, and fear in it. So that was something I always felt that was off, but what exactly it was, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
So
So,
that was inside.
so essentially, you were feeling something, and one of the
Mhm.
things that gave you motivation to take this, to have a reading, was to try to put words to those things you were feeling.
Yes.
Essentially, that's exactly what the reading is for. So a lot of people be thinking that it's not psychic, it's not magical, it's not
No.
anything. It's just a person who is equipped to recognize energy. You know what I mean? And it helps you put words to what you're feeling and figure out what's going on based on the energy you radiate and the energy that's connected to you. So I do think that's a fantastic thing that, you know what I mean, you took some time and you started thinking about how the emotions were layered up. So you had pockets of anger, sadness, they were layered up. So that's awesome. Oh God.
Hmm.
And one last question before we start this, the reading itself. Is there what can you say was your motivation to, what is this, grow, heal, or whatever the case may be? What do you think motivated you to do that?
I think it was more grow in Him. Like, it was time. There were times like I was like, I'm over that, but moved on or moved to a different situation. It'd be something minor, and I feel like I'm in that situation all over. So it'd be like I heal part of it, but not all of it. So
No doubt. I think you're saying something that's very important because that's I think for me that was the same thing that motivated me to do some of this, and it was the skill that was given to me when I was growing up is the ability to move on. You know what I mean? And in my life and in my childhood and experiences, we grew up at an interesting time. We didn't have the space to pause and deal with emotions. I remember even when kids, like I was at school, we had a friend in like the 7th grade who got unalived. And schools would have therapists there, but we kids, we don't know if we needed therapy. They should have sent us in therapy with one of our friends. You know what I mean? So we learn how to move on, but moving on doesn't necessarily teach you how to release. So we wind up carrying a whole lot of things until we reach this point where we recognize either we want to keep carrying these things the rest of our life or we want to take steps to release.
that's true.
Right. So I agree. Okay. So since you know how it is, we go through, wow, we've been on 40 minutes right now. So I don't know. We can do them all depending on how you feel. You get tired, then we can move on. I don't care. So where would you like to start? We can start anyway. You want scratch. You want to start at your head or your feet? Crown or
Crown.
root? Crown. All right. So you know how it goes. I just hold this up and we look for it to spin. I'm going to take my sweater off. I feel like I need to get loose. Hold on.
All right, Mr. Rogers.
I ain't even gonna knock it. This Walmart shirt look that good. I was being cheap one day and ran out, forgot mess around and packed and traveled somewhere and forgot my shirt. So I bought this Walmart shirt and I just kept it in the rotation. But
Nobody would have known.
if I ain't say anything, right? Because
Right.
I have some more expensive shirts with this kind of sheen to it. But trust me, it doesn't feel the same. It's definitely a different material, but it look good. So I ain't gonna knock it at all. Okay, I'm finished joking. We get started. Okay, we're on your crown. We just gonna watch for it to move. Either it's gonna move a little bit, a lot, not at all, or just it's gonna be good. So we're gonna see. Let me see what your crown is saying. It's moving. So what I try to look for is to see it move in a circle. So it should move in a good circle with a nice little pool. For the people who may be new, there's nothing to it. It's just a bead on this, so I can't squeeze this and make it spin or make it not spin or anything. And I have faith, but normally I'm wrong when I say stuff like this, but I have faith that we are going to see some differences in one of her chakras. So they're not going to all look like that. So if not, we'll just do one of mine. And I'm certain it's going to be different than hers because I'm a whole different person. So how it always goes is I got a little cheat sheet. This is my cheat sheet. I look at it and then I read words, and whatever word kind of resonate with my spirit, I know that's something that you're kind of dealing with. So for the most part, we saw how it moved. It definitely was. I can tell that you're doing some work on it because what in its movement, what it was trying to do is get some balance. So you still have conflicting thoughts going on, where you want to be balanced. And then sometimes what I realized, the work of balancing can be very daunting, because everybody always talks about you should do some work or do some self work. But like I know as a person that does self work, it's hard work. And a lot of times it's easier to not do it. But the good thing about it is that's still a good sign, because you're doing the work, you're trying to find the balance, and at some point you're going to find the balance. So, I think some good things that are going on with that is you are compassionate. So you still a very compassionate person. And I do feel like it says wise and wise, compassionate. And I think that specifically fits well for you, because I think you're in a space where you're getting more comfortable with your passions, and you're being a little bit smarter about how you exhibit those passions, show those passions, or whatever. You're just doing you're being wiser instead of making these decisions from a space of past experiences. You taking it for who you are now and trying to take the space on making these decisions on who you're growing to be, right? I definitely think that you have a good sense of your connectedness to the source. Whether that source you call the universe, whether you call that source the God, whatever you do have a good sense of your connection. I think you know that you are connected to something larger than you. It may be the universal connection that we all have. It may be to God. It may be the universe. It may be to your ancestors. It may be all of those things. But you do have a good sense of your connectedness to the source. So I do feel, I'm reading the words, and one of the words that kind of stick out to me is you misunderstood. And I think we've talked about that before. I think that came up in your reading before, which isn't bad. Some of these things will show up again. You cannot work on them all at the same time. You know what I mean? And some of this is an assessment to see where you've grown. So I definitely still think that you're battling with feelings of being misunderstood. And I think that actually may be some of the reason why I couldn't fully spin in a circle like we needed to. You're dealing with those slight feelings of misunderstood. And
I definitely agree with you on that one. Battle with that a lot.
you got some stuff going on with your imagination. And it's funny because the paper says over erotic imagination, but I don't think that's the issue. I think where you are now is kind of like exercising your imagination again. You know what I mean? So it's a little wonky. Sometimes it seems a little easier, like creative ideas and thoughts like that come to you easy. But then sometimes it takes conscious work, and that can create levels of anxiety in you and feelings. But as you work on it, your feelings are misunderstood, and recognizing that your connection, like giving that a little bit more, then your imagination will be a little freer to do what it does. You know what I mean? Okay, so it has craving attention and needing to be popular. I don't think you're craving attention. I don't think you're needing to be popular. I think you're needing attention. So I think it's a combination of those two, in the sense that there's a certain recognition and a certain appreciation and a certain value that you really recognize that is more than wanted, more than craved, but something that is needed in your life. You know what I mean? Now, fortunately or unfortunately, you still are in that space where you have to figure out how to get to these goals or how to get to these things or who you have to be to get these things, right? But
Yep.
I do think that you are recognizing how important attention is to you. And a lot of times, like wanting attention or needing attention, we give that negative connotations, but it's not a negative thing. It's just the perspectives that we applied to attention that makes it negative. But we all like attention. We like affirmation, positive reinforcement. All of those things are attention. Is there anything that kind of really, really stuck with you outside of the misunderstood?
I think in the imagination, the creative part, and I think for that is like because recently I've been on a kick. Okay, we work on some crafts and stuff like that. So, and I think that also goes to the craving attention because I'll just create something, show it, and be like my product. But for the last like 3 or 4 projects, I've shared them with like people I trust to give me feedback. So it's like all three of those were like just connected for me.
Well, that's good because that lets you know you're working on it. Those are important right now. And pat yourself on the back for being at a space where you can expose yourself to criticism. Because it does definitely take a little bit of vulnerability, and many of us are. We cannot accept criticism because it's so triggering. It can be constructive criticism, but even if it's helpful, we just internalize criticism and we can't accept it at all. So that is a excellent space of growth for you, where now you're at a space where you're even open to criticism. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
pat yourself on the back. What we say? Round of applause. Good job. But I always spell it wrong because it's supposed to be GOODJOB, and I always say JOODGOB. So I know I might be dyslexic somewhere, but don't tell nobody. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is your third eye, and it's your forehead, it's your brow chakra, whatever. And it's funny because I'm curious to see what this is because it is big in the imagination. So we're gonna look for the spin.
Okay.
Move Mike a little bit. All right, we found the space.
No, let's say that look real.
Like it ain't even try to move a little bit. It was like,
Like, oh,
well, maybe, but
not today.
woo. Okay. So I'm gonna start with what's good. I do think you don't recognize this, but you should give yourself a little more credit in it. Because one thing that is, even though that didn't move, one thing that is going well for you energetically is you are charismatic. So you are attracting all types of energies at this point. You know what I mean? Which you should be aware of because you are attracting all. And I say that so that you won't get focused on any one energy, thinking that's all you attract. So you can make sure that you're paying attention to all the attract, whether it be supportive or anything. You are definitely having a space of a slight disconnect with knowing your purpose. And I think that is a space where you're doing a lot of processing. And I think what's making it a little difficult is you are using your previous tools. So like example, I remember we've discussed on the show or before how my homeboy said that one of my issues was I've been functioning in my intellect so long that I haven't used my creative, that it's kind of, it has a little atrophy in it. I think that's kind of your thing. You've been functioning in your intellect for a long time, and you're trying to get reconnected to your imagination. So, ooh, that is where you will figure out your. That started off as an idea that you brought to life. So if you allow your imagination to create more ideas, you do have the skills to bring those ideas to life. Um, you got a little worry going on. Um, Honestly, I feel like some of your worry is around the what popped in my mind is, am I going to do this in time? I don't know what this is, but there's something in your essence that you are worried about on if time is running out for whatever that is. And that can be a bunch of different things. It can be I'm not going to name them because the possibilities are endless, and I definitely don't want to lead you in any direction. You have to sit and you think about that. But I definitely think that worry about time running out in something is quietly eating away at the yeah at your third eye. It just remains in the back of your mind. Um, you're not easily influenced. You're not living in a fantasy world, but you should. So I think what's going to help you is start living a little more in a fantasy world, a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I know as adults we got to deal with what's real, but allow yourself a little bit to deal with a little bit of what's make believe or what's because once you start living in a fantasy world, it seems like a fantasy world, but it winds up really being the real world that you create, and it will cause you to exercise your imagination. You got the bigger picture is becoming clear to you, so I don't think that's the issue. You're definitely not easily influenced. You worked on that tremendously. So, and it was crazy because energetically, your conscious mind wouldn't be easily influenced. But things that were done, said, or happened to you will remain in your unconscious mind, which would easily influence you unconsciously. So I don't think that's a huge issue for you now, which is good. So is there any one of those things that kind of stick with you?
Um, Definitely the purpose, and I guess that's why I've been so in tune with my Bible study because that's been our message, like finding our purpose and what's tied to our name and all that. So it's been one of the things, making sure I don't miss Bible study because need help figuring out purpose. So that's what,
Well,
um,
yeah, you finished?
yeah.
Okay. I don't have a lot of advice about finding your purpose. I don't, wild
Yeah.
as it is, I don't have a lot of advice about any of this stuff. You feel me? And you know me, I don't know. I just tap in and let the universe tell me whatever I need to know. But
Yeah.
one thing that I can tell you that helps in finding your purpose is really just mentally letting stuff go and allowing your mind to be free and actually asking of the universe like, yo, what am I supposed to be doing next? And when you do that, allowing yourself to be vulnerable and receptive enough to receive that because you don't know where it may come from. And the easiest way for the universe to speak to you is through other people because you will listen to the words. even when we don't listen to ourselves, we don't even listen to that internal voice. So the easiest way is to let that imagination be free and trust that you will be provided for and direction will come. Now, the way you get that direction is also you have to open yourself to new experiences, new conversation, new people. Somebody random just gonna say that, and you're doing that. You know what I mean? But understand all of these things, whether it be Bible study, whether it be new experiences, whether it be any of those things, they are just tools because essentially your purpose already resides inside of you.
Yep.
You just have to pull that out. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
understand that. But I understand how figuring out your purpose could be it. And I bet that is the overwhelming one. And you are taking a mental break from thinking about it. So that's why you cut that off. That thing was not moving at all. So it makes sense. All right. Let's see how your throat going.
Bad because I feel like I should be saying a lot and I haven't been.
Okay, so I'm glad you recognized that before we even did the reading, so you can expect. So it may move some, but you still know in your heart. And I say that because I recognized that too when I was doing my hard work. I did Reiki and I touched my throat, and when I got to this side, I almost cried. So I recognized that I'm not fully communicating my feelings. You know what I mean? So we had to talk about that. So we're going to see how your throat is. You already know you're not communicating, but we're going to see what. All right, you doing better than you thought. That moved more than
The last two.
your third eye. So that's good. So I can tell that is definitely an area that you worked on, and also we are our own biggest critics. So it's probably still an area that you can be very hard on yourself. So let's see. You still concerned about your words being seen as criticizing. You got a stubborn streak in you, and it's interesting because most of the time when we think about stubbornness, we always think about those people who are outwardly expressive on their stubbornness, but your stubbornness is quiet. You don't say nothing. You just still kind of do whatever you want to and don't do what was asked of you. You just kind of you got quiet stubbornness about it. You have some fears around what you have to say and how it will be received, or which is fair. You definitely want to think about the outcomes of our actions, and that is something that you thinking about a little bit. Yeah. You're not speaking too much. You doing better at speaking truthfully. You working on your creative, so that's good. You can express yourself a little bit better, even though you still worried about being seen as criticizing. I think it's funny because it says seen as timid, and I do think you have some of that energy in you, but you're not timid at all. So I would think about how to connect that, how you present yourself, and who you really are. with that timid thing, because you're not as timid as you present yourself. Like even now, you sitting there just smiling like you such a timid person, but you're not. Sleepy, maybe. Timid, no.
Wow,
Excuse
not
me.
telling everybody I'm sleepy.
Hey, let me tell you something. This is a joke. So, family, anybody that comes to my place, whether they getting Reiki or not, they go to sleep. Some people take 5 minutes. Some people take 10 minutes. Some people sleep an hour. Some people sleep 8. But they all go to sleep. So, you get that energy, you get on that table, you get on the couch. It don't matter where you go. Even in the bathroom, you be like, man, this is comfortable. So you get it. So does any of that kind of stick with you? The throat chakra stuff?
Um, Worried about what I have to say. The seeing this timid part, that's a bit shocking because I don't, but I know a lot of people think that about me. And it's like I don't know what to do to change. But
Well,
that's
it may not.
also
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and it may also be that when I first interact with you, I don't. I'm very observant, and then I interact. So I don't know if that's
It's
where it's
probably
at.
a combination of it, because you know they do say you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So people hold on. If you come off timid, they be thinking you timid. You think some people be. Some people don't realize how shy I am, because that's not how I present myself. And it's funny because I think this is where this comes in. You know, a lot of times in relationships, when we meet somebody, we always say we met their representative. And I'm learning that we're not meeting their representative. People can present themselves very different. It's not a representative, it's who they are. So sometimes I present myself as a social butterfly. But the reason why I do that is because I got more FOMO than anything. I'm more afraid of missing out than I really want to be out there enter it. Like, you know me, I don't like people like that. So even doing this is funny because people are people. So even this is an exercise on expanding myself. So I definitely get where you're coming from.
The other one is, I think, worried about how what I need to say will be received. So most of the time I just feel like, is it even saying? Like it's not,
So
but it probably should.
I'm gonna give you the download I got for myself, and that's probably why I got this. And I realized, because I said I did my throat, and I realized it's a lot I don't communicate either. But the understanding, because I asked for clarity, the understanding and clarity that I received from this is, so what winds up happening by doing that, like I always said, I only say it if I'm the fertile land. So if it's going to be received, or if I think it's worth it, right? But I'm also recognize, who am I to judge that? You know what I mean? Because what I say might be that one seed that is needed to make that fertile land. But aside from that, and the main thing that I really got from trying to do my meditations on that is, I really wind up robbing myself, because if I don't say it, those words and thoughts still exist and they go somewhere. And I realize I start packing them away like I used to. You know what I mean? Moving forward instead of addressing it. And secondly, you rob the other person or the situation of the opportunity for growth. You know what I mean? So I know for myself, that's not a burden I want to bear. I want to bear. I don't want to carry a burden of not saying nothing, robbing myself, or robbing somebody else of knowing the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think
And
I've
the
been
funny
making.
thing about it, last thing, something that I read, the sigil magic book about science and magic, he says facts are elusive. He said, because if your facts are wrong, you're going to have the wrong truth. So what we need to seek out as we go forward is the truth, not facts, because the truth is universal. You know what I mean? So there's a truth in giving people that opportunity to grow, whether they do it or not. That's not your responsibility. You know what I mean? But you gave them the opportunity, and you don't have to worry about your shoulder acting up over the weekend because you ain't say something like my joints and my shoulders hurt.
So lately, for me, my release been is writing that. Like, and yeah, I don't think it's been a real release, but it's like, okay.
No, that is. And I'm going to give you some other ideas to do that, because a lot of times having the opportunity to say things to the people may not always present themselves. And you know, like I know, closure is a luxury, not a necessity, in the sense that you have to create, you have to learn to create your own closure. And in doing it by writing it down, you value written language as much as spoken language. I think we put too much emphasis on spoken language that we devalue written language and body language. Like, we don't pay attention to neither one of them. Like, well, if you ain't say me, you don't see my face frowning. So I think you value written language, and that is a space to release. Now, I will also say, you think about what you want to do with that when you write it down. So, like, for example, when I do those spiritual trips or anything, I have people write their intentions down. You have the intentions that you want to get rid of, and you have the intentions that you want to come to you. And we burn them. So we do a fire ceremony, write them down, and we burn that stuff. Plenty of people do fire ceremonies. As a matter of fact, there's movies about the burn book. People throw journals in the book. People do fire ceremonies all the time. Essentially, even lighting a candle is a fire ceremony, because you're taking control of the fire and you're utilizing it as a tool. You know what I mean? So you don't got to do fire ceremony. You can do whatever you want to, but create something that allows you to dissipate that energy. Because right now you just combining it all in one spot, which is good because it's better than in your shoulders. But you also want to dissipate that into the atmosphere. What we on now? Your heart closed.
It's not. I've been trying to be less of Scrooge.
Trust me, I'm laughing with you, not at you. Me too, Shawty. I'm trying to be less of Scrooge too, so I get it. Yeah, one of the things I want to talk about. Yeah, I'll wait about it next week, I guess. But in my heart, I attach too much of my success to my romantic failures or successes, but don't need to do that shit at all. All right, let's see how your heart closed.
It's not.
It ain't closed. It ain't that bad. So you definitely been working on your throat and your heart. It moving a little bit. It's moving. It should move a little faster, and the circle should be a little bigger for it to symbolize balanced. But it's moving, so that means you are open, you aware, you're present. You know what I mean? You ain't cut it off. So I think you're doing good with being empathetic. I think you're doing good at being loving. And I think specifically, I was gonna say in some aspects of your life you feel loved, but no, specifically what came to me is you've been working on feeling self-loved a little bit more, and I definitely think that you have improved that, so you do love yourself a little bit more. Doo-doo-doo. You got some jealousy going on somewhere. You have some fear of rejection and uncertainty, and I think that uncertainty ties into that what we talked about a little bit earlier, time running out feeling, whatever that is going on with you. But a sense of uncertainty tied around that. You're not blaming others. Good. You don't have. I remember your first one. You had this thing with that the feeling of also giving too much. You more comfortable with your giving. You more selective in how you give. So you've done some work on that. I remember that.
A lot of work on that.
You say what?
A lot of work on that.
And I could tell because you still, and the good thing about it, like you're still empathetic, you still loving, you feel love. So you're not blaming either others. You just not, I think, okay. So that's where I think it ties into that. You're not blaming others. You know what I mean? I think you've taken a certain level of accountability in the choices that you made and who you gave too much to. And I think you recognizing, which is good, that you don't need to give less. You just need to give that to others, people who are deserving, people who will pour into you as well. So you choose a little differently, which is good. So I think those tied in together. You kind of worked on those together, which is good. Anything else kind of stick with you?
I think the whole self love, because for me it's been like, trying to and okay, I enjoy this and focusing stuff, not feeling bad. I choose to do something I want to do first, what somebody else needs me to do.
All right.
So I've been finding peace and putting myself first.
Okay. No doubt. That's a good thing. It's okay to be selfish with yourself sometimes. And it's needed. It allows you to rebuild yourself. So it's a good thing. We are on your solar plexar right now. So we're gonna see how that go.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hold it this time so nobody don't think I'm cheating. Solar plexus. Bless you.
Thank you.
Your solar plexus got the most swing, which is a good thing, but it doesn't have the power behind it. So I know you've been doing some work. That's probably the one that's the most, I don't know, I don't even want to say worked on, but it's the one that can reflect the work that you've done the most. Let's see. Well, things that are going well for you is you have respect for yourself and others. You definitely are pretty good with your problem solving. You're a lot calmer. You're having some conflicts with your integrity. And I think that is not that you don't have integrity. I think you are shifting and reshaping and maybe even adding to how you view integrity for yourself. You got a sense of not knowing what to do. So that has you torn off a little bit. I think it's the integrity and the quite not knowing what to do. Like I said, it is the one that is doing the most swinging. So you got respect for yourself and others. Your confidence is the other way. It's better than okay. So the best way I can describe this, what popped in my mind, is 50%. So maybe before it was at 10%, 20%, and now you got it to 50%. You know what I mean? So it's still some work. So you being hard on yourself, but it's reflecting in your solar plexus. You don't have no low self esteem. You're not feeling apathetic. You don't feel taken advantage of anymore because you had that a little bit. Yeah, you drawing new boundaries. So a lot of stuff that is happening to you is because you want that shit. You want good, bad, and indifferent, and you want it to happen. Oh God. Yeah, any of those stick. That's all. It's kind of like ringing my bell.
Mm.
I said no.
Hmm.
I said nothing really sticks. It sticks out to
No.
you.
Oh. Um. Definitely no longer feeling taken advantage, but I feel like that's the hard and what you call it, the other one we talked about because I'm not taking accountability for my part in it. So that weight is lifted and definitely reshaping a lot of things and sticking to the boundaries. Like have for me, I had to realize boundaries weren't respected because I wasn't holding strong on. So
Right.
now more so holding on them.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. It's reflected in your energy. That's so I see how you reshaping, and I understand that because the whole family, the whole soul family, can understand because we all reshaping and drawing new boundaries. So I get it. Good. We are on your sacral. We on the last two, so we almost done. Thank. Okay, cool. Oh, sacral. Let's see. Hmm. I'm curious. Oh God, excuse me. Forgive me. It seems like you doing your sacral like what's the one that you cut off? Your throat or brow? The one, yeah, so your sacral like that too. Yeah. Let me find out. Uh-huh. Ooh, everybody be having that problem. Good things are you still friendly. Um, you generally have a good mood, and it's a sense of playfulness that's it feels like resurging in you. Um, you got a lot of shit going on. Excuse me. You have some stuff going on with your passion, and I think that's in finding a space to consistently release that passion. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, you having some stuff with going feeling sexually fulfilled, and we won't go no deeper in that than that. Um,
Have to bend you real quick.
no, don't worry. That trust me. No, I would not put all your business out there like that. Um, you got this I was gonna say this Molotov cocktail of emotions going on right here with shy, guilt, and afraid to interact. But good thing is you're not overly concerned about what others think. You definitely are doing some stuff that you just want to do. I'm like, I just want to do it, and you're not worried about it. So definitely is a certain sense of regenerative selfishness. There we go. I made that up too. Don't tell nobody. Um, any of those things stick with you?
Um, I think the passion part and the way you put the shy guilt.
All
I'm
together.
not sure. Yeah, but so yeah,
No doubt.
a little.
That's fair enough. That's the sacral is a spot that I'm always sacral and heart can be spaces that I'm always a little careful about going deep into because of what they can bring up. You know what I mean? They bring up a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Generally, like with the throat, that's generally anger. The crown is overthinking. You know what I mean? Solar plexus, it winds up being a lot of worry, which is funny. That shows up in the stomach. Everybody be having gas and bubble. You know what I mean? That worry. But the sacral and what I say, the heart, yeah, interesting things can come out with that. But definitely take some time, process them, put them together, or if you have, you know what I mean, communicate them, write them down, tell somebody, do something. Okay, root chakra, or what I've been saying. Didn't y'all women have a hot girl summer? And I've been calling it fly girl fall. Had you one of them, you heard?
Definitely working on it.
Okay. Oh, it's too hot. Too hot, lady. Got to run
I
for
already got
cover. Got
jazz
to
and everything.
run for shade. I know that's right. Listen, I'm laughing because I swear this month I'm gonna be outside this month. I don't know what that means, but
Me neither,
probably
but I'm
nothing.
out there.
Because outside for me, I'm gonna go kick it with my homeboy. So that means we might go to the bar one time, or he might want to go to the jiggly room, so we might go there. But outside of that, I'm just do some stuff. I'm go to the gym show. We got a gym show this weekend, and I am looking for blue tiger's eye. And when I find my blue tiger's eye, I'm going to gift my other tiger's eye to someone else. Because it's done its job with me. One way you can tell your stones have done their job is they keep on trying to get away from you. So my tiger's eye, I had it on my necklace and it stayed on there for a long time. Then randomly one day it just kept on falling off. Every time I put it back on, it fall off again. Then the brothers was like, that means it's done. So you either put it on your altar or whatever, because I don't have no altar. I ain't into all that. Or you recharge it however you want to. I put mine in the sun, let it sit in the sunlight, that recharge me. I put it in the moonlight recharge me. And I do sit it beside my tools, which is essentially an altar, but I don't like to call it that. Because I'm a hater. All right, so let's do your root. We've been on here. I think we just did you out. I should have made you come on at 7 instead of me doing all that jaw jacking. But I figured that people want to hear my voice.
Everybody want to hear the radio.
Yes. DJ Easy. No. Everybody wants to hear a W. Doom, 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 doom. Sorry. I'm a Snoop fan. Root chakra. Let's see how we doing. It's moving, but it's moving like TikTok, not got darn in a circle. So I think you've been working on your grounding. Um, I think you recognize that, like you said earlier, something's a little bit off, and part of it is your putting your feet on the ground. You know what I mean? And people say stuff like that, but we don't ever really quantify what that means. But essentially, one way to feel grounded is let go of all that. What I tell you, what's the most commanded thing in the Bible? Fear not. So
Mm,
letting go of some of those worries, those fears, those things will wind up allowing you to feel grounded. Exercising the other skills that you need to exercise, like your imagination and your selfishness and things like that. Those things will help you feel grounded internally. Then, of course, you can take salt baths, dig in some dirt, walk barefoot through the grass. You can eat some wood chips if you want to. Um, so yeah, you having some stuff going on with your grounding. Um, okay. So you do definitely believe that you belong in this world. You're starting to feel a little more comfortable in this world, but um, you got some trust going on. You still ain't. I don't know who you ain't trusting, but you ain't trusting him. You like I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And the funny thing is, I think you still kind of doing it a little bit, but the fact that we talked about it in men's group. The fact that you're kind of hesitant is you haven't fully, we call it opting in. You hadn't fully opted in. So you got some trust stuff going on. You are independent. You working on your feelings of alive. So those are growing. So that might be it. You poised. Okay. Okay. So we ain't gonna go too deep on this one either. You having some feelings of sexual inadequacy. You have some fear, shy, and unsure. So any of those that kind of stick with you that you feel comfortable talking about. So you can skip sexual inadequacy.
thank you.
I wasn't gonna let you talk about that anyway.
I wasn't going to. Definitely not. I would definitely say the trust issues, and I know exactly what that's tied to.
Oh, you
Um,
know what it is. Okay,
yeah,
cool. Long as you know what it is, that's even better. So now you know that it does
hmm
show up in your energy. And a
yeah,
lot of times we as people we think we're hiding those things that we don't want anybody to see, but no, it just come. And some people are like animals. They can smell and sense things and they're not even aware of it. As a matter of fact, I told somebody I'm in one of these groups and it's I find myself in a lot of women's groups, so I think I might be safe. But the woman posted this question about phantom smells. I learned so much about women through this group. Not that I needed to learn any more from my career, but I do. Man, listen, the things they post and ask are, man, listen, I'm glad I'm a man who knows because the average man, you don't want to be in this group. You don't want to know this about women. But she asked about phantom smells and they were going all into it. So, I jumped in, talk about check your emotions because emotions have smells. And this dude was like, he never thought about that like that. And I said, I just recently made that connection myself because I knew about pheromones, but when they teach you about pheromones, they always just make it seem like it's sweat and musk and that's it, and it's only for sexual attraction. Like, you know what I mean? I'm out here and I do my mating dance and now you so wild by me peacocking, you won't be my lady. But pheromones release for every emotion, and when you start looking at, do emotions have sense, there is a ton of research that supports that emotions have sense. And as crazy as it is, you don't think about it until I say something like, sadness does not smell like happiness. That makes common sense. Like, you're like, you know what? That makes sense. I wouldn't want my sadness to smell like happiness. I wouldn't. Now, the smells can be anything, because I've smelled anger that smelled like cotton candy and anger that smelled like sugar honey iced tea. So, two different people, but once they released, the smell went away. So I'm curious about your trust, so I'm gonna ask you one day if you feel safe enough to tell me we're not gonna talk about the show. Okay, so cool. Now that was your last chakra, and we're pretty much done. So, is there one thing that sticks out to you the most in this conversation that you feel like this the one I need to address? That's my next one, or I need to keep working on this one, or anything?
I think conflicting thoughts, trying to find balance, and purpose. That's what sticks out the most to me. Because I feel like figure out those two, then a lot of other things will click
Fall
for me.
into place.
Yes. And I won't worry so much about like time running and stuff. So.
Yeah, there is that scientific theory that past, present, and future is happening at the same time. And in some aspects, you can be aware of that. As a matter of fact, one way that we are aware of how the past and the present is happening at the same time is when we're triggered, whether it be a smell or a song. You can be in 2004 and that smell hits you and your mind travels right back to when you were 7 years old. You feel me? So you wind up time traveling. So past, present, and future can be happening at the same time. And a piece of advice that someone gave me that I'll give to you with this process, and we talked about it on the show a little bit, but if you want to know how you worked on these things, how you got past that, ask your future self, like, self, how did I beat this? Like, how did I get past this? How did I build my trust? What did I do? And remain open, and you will start getting new ideas. You would spark new ideas, and you will give yourself the roadmap to get these things. So you just got to talk to your future self just as much as we go back and heal our past self. We can talk or ask questions of our future self who has passed these points in our life. All right. So is there anything else you would like to discuss?
Nope.
Nope. Well, I appreciate your support as always.
No
I know
problem.
we'll probably
Thank
catch you
you.
Thursday for book club. If there's anything else that you would like to talk deeper about offline, you know I'm available to you. You know what I mean? You know how to catch me. And I'm in town this month, so I can be social. So you even have a whole month. Because you know I
So you
start
gonna
this.
have a hot boy summer?
Girl, you know, fly guy fall. Hold on now.
Fly guy
Okay.
fall.
Hell yeah. Yes, that's going on. But I still got time. I don't got time when I be moving. I be acting funny style. I'll disappear for a month. You know what I mean? But you know how it goes. So if it is, just let me know. And again, I thank you. And the Soul family thanks you. They ain't dog you out in the comments, so you all right.
That's a good thing.
Right, that's all right. I
Thank
think
God
most
for
people
being
didn't even
kind.
know what to say. They just kind of watched.
That's it. It really do.
Which is fair
Hopefully it
enough, right?
resonated with some people too. So
No doubt. Definitely no doubt. But I thank you. I'm about to wrap up this show a little bit, so I
all right,
appreciate you. All
then.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.
All right, family. So, hey, we know what? We're gonna go back to the front cam. Boo 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 boo. And we can get this started and play a little music. We are about to wrap the show up. I appreciate you, family, as always. You can catch us again at Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are live energy readings or healing conversations. Thursday is the book club. Next Tuesday, either we'll do an energy reading or we have some things to talk about. We need to start talking about how we will use the tools of suggestion, the tools of symbols, and the tool of repetition to address our traumas and a bunch of other things. You know what I mean? But hopefully we're gonna start making sure we leave space for energy readings going forward. So I thank you for you being a part of this. I thank you for sharing space and time with the soul family, because you could be doing anything else in your life right now, but you are here with us. And I thank you and I wish you much gratitude. If you got some time, we see you Thursday for book club, so you make it out there. I mean, it's online, so catch us Thursday. If not, we'll see you next Tuesday. And I hope you, soul family, have a fantastic rest of your week. And next week, oh man, we're gonna have some new stones, so I'll be able to talk to you about some new stones. I need y'all to put some good energy out there for me and make sure I get this blue tiger's eye that I'm looking for. Okay. Thank you. If you need to, if you want to reach out and have a session for yourself, you definitely can. And I would love to have the opportunity to help you put words to your feelings and emotions. But again, family, enjoy the rest of your week. Remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you are safe. Peace and thank you.